Here's what your Social Security will be if you make this much money. All right, so we're going to bust out the PVC pipe of knowledge, PVC pipe of knowledge, with the official PVC pipe. The official PVC pipe, because we got that green tape on there. All right, so anyway, so let's go into Social Security. So I got one, let's see here. There we go. I got 4 different income streams. 4 different income streams. So we're going to show you what your Social Security will be, and then we're going to show you how much your Social Security will replace of your gross income. All right, so a couple of things we got to point out here. Remember how Social Security is calculated. I know this is going to get boring for some of you old original gangsters here, but the facts are people just don't know. They don't know how this works. They take your top 35 years of indexed earnings. And again, indexed earnings, not what you actually made in 1992, but it's indexed with average wage index, all right? So average wage index, AWI, not COA, not CPI, average wage index. And if you look at AWI, it's been consistently higher than CPI. So they say, okay, the amount of money you made in 1992 or 1993 or something like that was $20,000 there. It's the equivalent of $80,000 now, all right, if that makes sense. And I'm just throwing that number out. Don't quote me on, no, you said it's 80,000. It's actually 79,874. But you get it. All right, so they're not saying you made $20,000 in 1992. That's all we're going to give you. No. It's indexed for AWI, average wage increase, average wage index. All right, so then they take your top 35 years of that. So I'm 54. I've been working since I was, 14 years old. That's 40 years. All right, so I got my Social Security statement. I got 40 years of not very much money back then, but 40 years of earnings. Well, 5 of those years aren't included in my benefit because they only take your top 35 years. Another reason why, I don't understand all these people. You should work longer and longer and longer. I'm like, yeah, but every year you continue to work, is it adding anything to your Social Security? And a lot of times it's not. So if you're making $100,000 this year, you're going to pay $7,650. Well, actually $6,200, I should say, for Social Security tax and taxes. You're not getting any benefit of it whatsoever. I mean, you could be, but most likely you're probably not. Anyway, so you're like, oh, because you already had reached your top 35 years of indexed earnings. All right, so then what we do is we take those top 35 years, all right, we divide by, and we add them all together. How this really works is we add them all together. So we say, okay, we got 40,000 times 35, whatever it is, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 times 35. Then we divide by 420 to get what is called our average indexed monthly earnings, all right, average indexed monthly earnings. So in this case, I'm saying you're going to just have averaged 40,000 a year, all right? 40,000 a year of indexed earnings for 35 years, all right? So again, you probably started out in 1990 making 15, and now you're making, I guess, sniffles. I guess stop doing that. You know what? Imagine your buddy Josh doing that, sniffing the tables. Dude, I would go insane. Dude, can you imagine me sniffing tables? You know what I'm talking about, right? I don't sniff tables because I like the ladies, and only people who don't like the ladies sniff tables. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's so just FYI if you're wondering, why is he so energetic? He must be sniffing tables. No. All right, so in this case, we're saying your old buddy Josh averaged $40,000 a year in indexed earnings, which gives me an average indexed monthly earning of $33,000 a month. Because we take our 35 years of average index monthly earning, of average annual earnings, so we're saying they average 40,000 a year, times it by 35, divide by 420 to get this. All right, so in this case, it's simple. We're just saying, hey, you average 40,000 a year, we're just going to divide by 12. That's it, no big deal. You don't have to, I've done a million videos on this. So don't get too caught up in this right now. So they're going to say their AIME, their average index monthly earnings, is $3,333. All right. We know for a fact the first 1226 we get 90% of. All right, so across the board, every single swinging delta gets 1103 of the first 1226 of indexed earnings. All right, we know that for a fact. It doesn't matter if you're Mr. Burns or if you're old buddy Josh. Everyone's going to get 90% of the first $1,226 of average indexed monthly earnings. This is not the amount you get for Social Security. That's not how it works. We got 3 different bend points. Can't really see that very well. Now we got 3 different bend points. The first 1226, you get 90% of that. The next amount up to 6165, or the next 6165, you get 32% of that, and then any amount over 7391, you get 15% of. And these change yearly, by the way. All right. So in this case, if you're making $40,000 a year is your average annualized index earnings, your benefit is 1103, the first bend point, 32% times the second bend point, which gives you $674. Your average index monthly earnings, your primary insurance amount for your Social Security benefit is $1,777. All right, so if you made $40,000 a year, your Social Security benefit would be $1,777. And that gives us a 53% replacement amount, 53%. Now, with some people, I tell people, I say, okay, so we got $40,000. We're just going to, for simplicity, we're going to assume you're losing 10% of that to taxes, because 7.65 for FICA, we're just going to assume that, well, let's say 15% for simplicity. So we're going to assume you're losing, that'd be $6,000 a year. So in that case, because we got the 7.65 plus, we're essentially going to assume a 15% effective tax rate. So 15% on 40,000 equals $34,000. Is what our net income is, net of taxes. All right, $34,000. So we take our trusty calculator, which is over here. I'm going to go over here, my friends. I can put my PVC pipe down, actually. All right. So we take our trusty calculator. We say how much? $34,000, $1,777 times 12. Divide by $34,000. So net of taxes, that's a 63% replacement rate. That's not too bad, man. People, and that's if you take it at your full retirement age at 67 years old. All right, just keep that in mind. If you take it earlier, it'll be lower. If you take it later, it'll be higher. But right there, net of taxes, and that's not including a 401k contribution or anything. So 63% of your income, your net income, before even a 401k contribution, is being replaced by Social Security. So that means if you want to have the same amount of money, post-tax money essentially, you need to come up with another $37,000. Well, hopefully you've been saving your 401k or something like that. Hopefully your mortgage is paid off. Some guy, so you're assuming everyone has a mortgage paid off in retirement? Yeah, I am assuming that. You should. You should have your mortgage paid off in retirement. I just talked to a guy today. He doesn't need to have his mortgage paid off in retirement. He's doing fine. Most of us, your old buddy Josh, we should have our mortgage paid off unequivocally. So if your mortgage is paid off, so this is what drives you off the wall, man. If you're living on $40,000 a year, and that includes your mortgage, you see what I'm saying? And that includes income taxes, and that includes your FICA tax, and all of a sudden your mortgage is paid off, your 401k, you're not contributing anymore, and your income tax and your FICA tax are gone, this will probably cover you, right? This right here, your Social Security will probably cover you, almost dollar for dollar. Josh, it's what? So if you're 60,000, so we go from 40,000 to 60,000, you'll see we made an extra $20,000 a year, and $20,000 a year for 30 years. That's $600,000, an extra $600,000 subject to FICA or subject to Social Security taxation, essentially. And so here we're making an extra $600 a month. All right, so we paid 50% more. We had 50% more in Social Security benefit. Basically, what we made income, we made 50% more than this guy right here. But our Social Security benefit isn't going to be 50% more. It's only going to be a third more, because 600 divided by 1,800 is basically 33%. So we'll make 2310. So our average index monthly earnings is 5,000. Do all that calculation, we make 2310. So here, it's 46% replacement ratio of that net of a gross amount right there. Well, this makes sense. If it doesn't, that's fine. Just watch it again. Keep watching. Just put on the loops and keep watching. Let me get the sweet, sweet Bernie Sanders advertising money and George Soros and all these guys. But they're so left-wing. They're going to, you think Bernie Sanders is a left-wing guy? Come on. Come on. The guy's a freaking corporatist like you've never believed. But he's a socialist. Yeah, okay. Three-house Bernie. That's what we call him, three-house Bernie. You got, was it five-card Monty? We call him three-house Bernie. And then his wife allegedly bankrupt Bennington College. Yeah, that's really the socialist that we want. Yeah, so you see right here. So now we go up, and this guy's making a third more than this guy, twice more than that guy. Oops. So you see $80,000 a year is twice this guy, and yet his benefit certainly isn't twice this guy. His benefit's only $1,100 more. So he's only got a 43% replacement ratio on that. So his benefit's $2,843. And 2843 is 43% of 6666. How dare you? All right, so $80,000, divide that by 12 is average index monthly earnings at 6666. Gives him a benefit of $28.43, and he's only getting 43% as a replacement of that $80,000. So again, this guy makes $40,000. This guy makes $80,000. Twice that guy. All right. His average index monthly earnings is twice that guy. This guy's benefit is $1,100, about 33% more. No, more than 33%. And about 50% more, something like that. Not quite 50%. It's 45% more. But his replacement rate is 53. His replacement rate is 43. Now we got Joe Snuffy Rich Guy, Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns, man. Excellent. You guys probably don't even know who Mr. Burns is because you're too young. I can't believe young people don't know. It's crazy. Like, I talk to my kids and stuff and their friends. They're like, who the hell's Mr. Burns? Like, you know Mr. Burns? He's a freaking legend. Owns a nuclear plant. If you didn't have Mr. Burns, we'd all be freaking sitting there with rocks, doing rocks, paper, scissors. We wouldn't be able to eat. Thank you, Mr. Burns. So he makes $120, which is 3 times this guy right here. But his benefit is not even twice this guy. Isn't that crazy? His benefit is only $33.02, which is only 33% replacement rate. Now he had, in the third bend point, this guy had a little bit of money that went to the third bend point, which you only get 15% on. All right. So here he's, I mean, again, this is literally how it works. Pretty simple once you figure it out. 1103, 1973, 2020, 226 in his third bend point. He makes 3302. He made 3 times the amount of income as this guy does, and yet he's only making not even twice what this guy does for Social Security. Now, the reason being, of course, is Social Security is progressive. It's going to, it's, I don't say it's rewarding, but pays more for the lower workers. Fine by me. All right, so anyway, that's how it works. Now, the question that a lot of people say is, right here. A lot of people don't get, actually, I don't want to talk about, I'm going to talk real quick about WEP. Some guy said the other day, I'm losing $900 a month for WEP. No, you're not, dude. What they do with WEP is they move this first bend point from 0.9 to 0.4. And WEP is a windfall elimination provision. So if you have a pension from a municipality that didn't pay to Social Security, you're just losing, basically goes from 1103 to 40% of that, which would be, $550 or something like that. You're not losing $900 a month to WEP. It's just not. So stop that. The GPO is a problem. The WEP is a small problem. The GPO is a bigger problem. So that's how it works. And your max you can make on Social Security is 160. So you guys should do the math yourself and see what you come up with. But that's it. That's how it works in a nutshell. Hope this helps. You know, of course, people say, but Social Security is going bankrupt. The government was never meant to be Social Security. It was only meant to be one of a 3-part stool. It's like, really? I'd love to see the original documents where it says Social Security is one of a 3-legged stool. Show me where that shows. Where did FDR say that? Where did Barbara, oh man, who's the head, the Department of Labor? I can't remember. Barbara something. Where did all that show that Social Security is going to be one of a 3-legged stool? Love to see it. I don't see it, and you don't either because it doesn't exist. Social Security was supposed to keep people out of poverty. That's what it's supposed to do. It didn't say anything about 3-legged stool. Very few people had pensions back then. Just stop the stupidness. It's crazy. All right. God bless. Don't give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's cool. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you.